Trump started on this operation without engaging Congress, without engaging the American people, and without engaging any of our allies. So he's in a political mess and a favorable military position.
It is always a great honor to welcome back to the show General Barry McCaffrey, who is a MS Now national security analyst, a U.S. Army general retired, 4 combat tours, 3 Purple Heart Awards. He's also been active in the Council for Foreign Relations, where he is a leader, JCS strategic plans in NATO, Brussels, and more. And I know you have been speaking out strongly on this war in Iran. General, do you believe that the war is close to conclusion or resolution? And if so, how does it end?
Yeah, well, I think nobody knows the answer to either of those two questions. Here's the challenge. I think from a military aspect, the naval and air power strikes on Iran have been simply stunning, devastating. They have largely set back that nuclear program now in a very significant way. Not just attacking, HEU fissile materials, but also the scientific structure behind it. They've knocked out a good bit of the Navy, the Air Force, the interceptor missiles. Their radar systems are down, so it's been a remarkable success. The question is, does it lead to changed behavior on the part of the Iranians, who now have only, I would assert, two keys left? One is terrorism in the international community, and the other is trying to drive the price of oil up, where they're capable easily of closing their Straits of Hormuz and keeping them largely closed, primarily because of insurance cautions on the part of those behind these oil tankers. So it's a difficult question. Like a lot of questions, the real question is, how does all this end? And
Exactly. Yeah.
so Trump started on this operation without engaging Congress, without engaging the American people, and without engaging any of our allies. So he's in a political mess and a favorable military position.
And okay, with the favorable military position, there's some question about reports today by the Associated Press and elsewhere that we have attacked 16 different vessels that were engaged in planting mines. And President Trump now wants the Iranians to remove those mines, to pick them up. First of all, is that even possible? And secondly, what is the likelihood that Iran is going to uh, retract mines that they have already planted?
Well, it's just on face value, it's a silly, childish observation. If they put them in, why would they take them out? They're trying to drive up the cost of oil and cause immense pain, not just the United States, who doesn't rely on a lot of East oil, but to China, to Japan, to Western Europe, etc. So, of course, they're not going to do that. But I think, in addition, that narrow 21-mile stretch through which 20% of the world's oil goes, uh, it's going to be almost impossible to guarantee not just mine warfare, but that they don't have a continuing ability to fire ballistic missiles targeted at oil tankers. So until the Iranians decide to stop fighting, a good bit of that oil trade is going to be at risk. I don't see how the military can ever get, the U.S. military and Israelis can get to 100% guaranteed that you can go through the straits. Plus, in addition, being a close friend of many naval officers, the last thing in the world the U.S. Navy wants to do is be escorting ships into the Persian Gulf. I mean, you got a flash to bang time of mere seconds when somebody fires a missile at you. You can't maneuver. It's shallow water. I think the Iranians still have some mini submarines, diesel electric, So it's too risky, really, to put the Navy into combat inside the Persian Gulf.
So what happens? I mean, do we simply complete fighting and complete destroying Iranian military resources until what? What's the decisive step that the United States can take to bring this war to a conclusion?
Well, in logic, of course, President Trump called upon the Iranians for unconditional surrender. We actually didn't do unconditional surrender on either Japan or Germany, strictly speaking. Last time we actually did it was General U.S. Grant in the Civil War. So he's called upon the Iranians to give up. He wants to select their political, religious leadership. These are incredibly stupid statements designed to keep the Iranians fighting. Plus, the new Ayatollah, the son of the last Ayatollah, we just finished killing his mother and father, his sister, and his wife. So he may not be inclined to view us favorably in short term negotiations.
Which is something of an understatement. What? Why? And you have had a great deal to do with America's primary allies and our NATO allies. Why has the Trump administration made no effort to build a new coalition of the willing to reach out to get the kind of allied support that could be very important in the economic aspects of this struggle?
It is impossible to understand Trump's motivation. The great Western democracies, economic powerhouses, Germany, France, the UK, the NATO alliance, shared values. He has gone out of his way to embrace Putin and this dictator in Hungary, Orban, and to alienate fundamentally all of our NATO allies. It's just impossible to understand. He just told the UK, I don't want your military help. You're two carriers. Forget it. We've already won. We don't need you anymore. These are like eighth grade statements to alienate our allies. And we're going to pay a price for this too. I think much of the globe, the civilized globe, has decided that the U.S. is out. We're no longer the linchpin of uh, international security, and they're now creating new arrangements, economic, political, and military, to protect themselves.
You would say that this also applies to our ability to broker peace in Ukraine. Not much likelihood or even discussion about that right now.
Well, he's on the face of it an ally of Russian aggression, of murderous Putin attacking a country in the heart of Europe that identifies with the West. We have stopped giving them any U.S. Military, economic, or military support. It's a great tragedy. I think Ukraine is still going to come out as a sovereign nation. Western Europe standing behind them strongly. The Russians are in a basket case of dictatorship and economic troubles. So Ukraine probably will make it anyway, but we have lost all credibility with our serious allies, certainly in Europe, but I think also the Japanese, the Australians, the South Koreans, others are looking at this volatile government by decree, government policy choices by whimsy, and they're saying we can't trust these people.
What? So right now, you think the chances of any kind of negotiated peace or ceasefire, even in Iran, is far-fetched?
Well, if the Iranians were smart, they'd talk, and they are smart. As long as the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard Corps, maintains their dominant security position in Iran, and as long as they don't lose their corrupt control of 50% of the Iranian economy, it's possible they'll come to some kind of a deal. But at the end of the day, this is and they have been battered. I mean, their proxies are on their knees. Iran is a basket case itself, so they ought to talk. Who knows? They should be desperate.
Well, let us hope that we do move in a direction of victory for the United States. Thank you, General Barry McCaffrey. Very much appreciate your taking the time for us. Also, if you're listening to us right now, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is available at Michael Medved Official, just those 3 words. And thank you, General, for all of your dedication and contribution in behalf of this greatest nation on God's green earth.